All right, everyone. So we are hopefully at the point, or very close to being at the point, where we have finished the details for the most part on our buildings. So I'm going to show you a couple other things that you can do in order to add further detail, things like sidewalks and billboards, if that's the kind of thing that you want to be able to include. All right, so first of all, if you want to have a billboard either on the actual building or perhaps one that's on top of the building, because that's definitely something that we see as well, all you'll want to do, I'm going to put one on this building right here, on this side. So same thing with the windows. Which vanishing point is that side drawn to? For me, that's the one on the left. So I am going to draw a line coming from this vanishing point. Sorry, I just dropped my pencil. Hold on. All right, let's try that again. All right, so I'm gonna draw a line up here. And guys, as you've gotten more comfortable with this, you're likely not drawing all the way to the vanishing point, just because that saves you a lot of erasing, even though if you line it up, you can see that is still where it's going towards. All right, so I have that right there. And then on the sides, I'm going to draw in my verticals. All right, and then overshot just a little bit. All right, so you can do that. You might want to have it look as though it's raised up. If that's the case, again, line up with the vanishing point and you can draw in a line to kind of provide a little gap between the billboard and the rest of the building. So that's a detail that you can do. You can, of course, also do them on buildings if you want to put a store sign or an advertisement or something like that. That's an option too. All right, so something that a lot of students definitely like to be able to do is include a sidewalk, which is a really great thing to include. It kind of helps pull the entire city drawing together. So I'm going to show you how to do that really quick. So just so you know what it's going to look like at the end, we're going to have sidewalks kind of going all the way to each corner. They're going to cross over a little bit, just so keep that in mind. All right, so I'm going to start on the left side first, or start with the left vanishing point rather. So I have it lined up with the vanishing point and I have my ruler extending all the way to the edge. Now, I don't necessarily need to draw in this line up until this point because that was the bottom of the buildings, but I am going to extend it all the way out like that. All right, and then for the sidewalk, I am going to angle my ruler down a little bit more. The one end is still at the vanishing point, and then I'm going to draw in another line. Okay, so we're off to a good start. All right, now let's go to the right vanishing point. All right, so same thing as before. I have it lined up with the bottoms of the buildings. I have it lined up with the vanishing point, so likely you don't need to trace this part, but then I'm gonna extend it all the way to the end, and then we're going to drop the ruler down a little bit more, kind of try and make sure it is about the same width as the other side. I think we're close right there. Okay, so we're gonna use these as a sidewalk right here. And then if you want this to be a crosswalk, that's definitely something that you can do as well. Now, you might be wondering how to draw in the blocks on the sidewalk, and that's another really great detail to include, but that does have to be done using a 2-point perspective as well. So here's the thing about it. Even though we drew the lines themselves to the nearest vanishing point, for blocks in the sidewalk, I'm going to actually line it up with the opposite vanishing point in order to draw the blocks in. So I'm going to draw a couple just so you can see. Okay, so again, the left side right here is being drawn to the right vanishing point. That's just one of those details that's how it works. So as you draw them, you want to draw the lines progressively closer together, because as things look as though they're receding back in space, they look like they're getting closer together. So they will be relatively narrow as we get further back. Okay, so again, when we're going to the right side to draw the blocks in, you're going to use the left vanishing point, but otherwise pretty much the same thing. I know the hardest part is probably getting the widths to match up on either side. All right, so there we have the sidewalk in. And again, if you wanted to create this as a crosswalk, for this detail, you would be going to the nearest vanishing point right here. So maybe for this one, you want to do lines that are closer together, since that's usually what that looks like. All right, well, I won't bore you with all of these at the moment, but that's another really fun thing that you can do. You can also draw in the lines for the street if you want to. And again, those would be to the nearest vanishing point. In case you haven't figured it out, if in doubt, draw to the vanishing point. All right, so enjoy drawing in some of those extra details. Be creative with what you are including, and we'll check back next time in order to talk about your unexpected element that we are including.